Ayo, keep it high, keep it tight. It's Jay Morse, a review guy, back to bring you another review. And in this one, I'm going to be reviewing the album Oil of Every Pearl's Unsides by the artist Sophie. So I wanted to get this out sooner than I did, but I've just run into a lot of news, a lot of things that I wanted to cover, and of course, I'm recording this post the death of XXXTentacion, and I made two videos on that, and I almost made a third, but then I was just like, so many people are talking about it, and I feel like I made my stance fairly clear in those videos, and it's tragic, and there's not much more else that I can really put forth to say much about that whole thing. It is what it is, and my prayers and thoughts go out to his family, his friends, his loved ones, and he was a great artist, and I'll leave it at that. But we're here to talk about an album, a pretty interesting album at that. So Sophie is an electronic producer and songwriter, and up until kind of recently, she has not really done much singing or visual appearances herself, but now she is. And boy, I can delve right into this album. The starting track, It's Okay to Cry, is this amazing anthemic ballad that starts the track listing off on such a strong note, but it was hilarious how it was directly followed by Pony Boy, because I was like, these tracks don't go together. Like, this is an extremely experimental album. Sophie is known for having a very strange and out there, eclectic, avant-garde type of styling, and she will make these weird ways of combining these distorted sounding electronic synths with bass and treble and just so many layers to her music. And that's one thing that I feel like might set some people back, is the experimentation, because there's so much of it. There's so much experimentation on this album that I can see some people listening to it and being like, wow, this is pretty off-putting, just for the fact that it's so unorthodox, so unconventional, and so strange when it comes to electronic music. Now, for me, I'm a big fan of avant-garde music. I listen to some strange music, and I have to say that even so, this is some of the strangest music I've heard in a while. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not me saying that this album is in any way bad. I'm going to be slapping this album with a fairly high score, but it's kind of hard for me to put the words that are needed to describe this album out there, because I have been sitting on this album for a while, and I've been like listening. I've listened to it numerous times, and it's still hard for me to find the right words to be able to describe this album, because it's just that out there, that abstract, that strange, that unorthodox, whatever word you want to use to describe this album is. But still, even so, I think that Sophie is a very culturally significant figure, because she is really involved in LGBT rights and kind of expressing that people should be themselves. She herself is a transgender, and, well, not transgender, I shouldn't say that, queer, and she has done a lot of kind of, in the lyricism that she puts out, you can tell that she's comfortable now, and that she's trying to encourage others to be comfortable, so it has a good message for that, and I think that that is really cool, because there's not that many right now, like openly gay musicians that really put that forward, that it's an important subject, that gay rights is an important subject, and that they should be treated fairly, and that the whole LGBTQ community should have their own type of place in society where people don't ridicule them, people don't look down upon them as if they are lesser human beings, as if they are doing something that is wrong. And I don't know. I like the message behind this album, because I have quite a few friends who fall under that category, and I know that some of them have been personally oppressed by either family members or friends that have tried to change them. And I have to say that this album is very empowering for people like that, because I've been reading comments on the album and people really are touched by this album, and that means a lot, because any album that can reach out and touch someone and make them feel good is an album that is worthwhile, in my opinion. And when you combine that great lyricism and that good message with strong vocal performances and strong just instrumental, like, just diversity, this turns into an album that is very interesting, albeit a bit strange and out there. So I think that pretty much does it for my opinion of the album. I think the ballads are really good. I think the heavy parts are really good. And I think the two are blended together fairly well. And overall, I definitely enjoyed this album. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. And the only reason it's not a 10 out of 10 for me is I can see some people being a bit off put by the kind of experimentation, and even myself, someone that's really into this type of music, when I'm listening to it, it's a little out there for even me. It's a bit wonky at times for even me. And as someone who listens to the music, it's surprising that I would feel that way, but I do. So anyways, guys, this has been Jay Mercer, Review Guy, and I'm signing off. I'll talk to you guys next time. Go ahead and post in the comments below what you thought of this album, and I'll talk to you next time. But until then, I'm saying farewell. Wish I could find my hat.
Oh no, what your mama gonna say when I tell her that I broke no heart? It's just things not the way that they used to be. Oh no, now you crying on the bathroom floor, and I guess it's the end. Well, I lost my mind and I lost my bed.